Without doubt, the biggest excuse I hear from people who want to get in shape is I don't have time to work out. Well, I'm here to fix that today. So strap in and get ready for episode 068. Let's go.
I've always been that skinny guy.
Why can't I gain muscle mass?
What do I do in the gym?
They said I'd always be skinny.
This is your complete source for how to gain lean muscle and break out of your skinny body. From nutrition to getting the most out of your workouts and everything in between. We know just how frustrating gaining muscle mass can be, but don't worry, we've got you covered. You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast. Hello, my name is Brian Parody, and welcome to today's episode. So, time. It's something that we all have the same amount of, right? And if I'm being honest, the number one thing I hear people tell me is I just don't have time to go to the gym. I just don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time. And I get it. Life is crazy. Let me give you a little breakdown of what I have going on in my life. So I'm married. I have 2 kids, 6 and 2, so they're a handful. I work a full-time job. My wife works a full-time job. And then we both have our own businesses that we run in addition to our full-time jobs. Then in addition to that, we have our own fitness that we keep up with. So I get it. Life is freaking busy, but it's doable. See, people always say, well, I don't have time. Okay, when's the last time you watched a movie? When's the last time you played some video games? When's the last time you binged a show on Netflix? If you've done any of those things in the last week or two, you've got time. Like, just being super honest here. Now, let's dive into how to manage that time, because I'm going to be honest, it's difficult sometimes. It truly is. If I said it was easy every day, I would be lying through my teeth. It is hard, it is difficult, but there's some things that definitely make it easier. So what are those things? Well, first off, figuring out your schedule is key. Every week I sit down and have a meeting with my wife. Usually it's on Saturday morning. And we talk about what we have coming up in the week ahead. We talk about our work. We talk about what our fitness expectations are. We talk about family goals for the week, money. Like, we touch every single topic. And usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour and we knock it out. And that lays the foundation for a week because we know before we even go into it what to expect from that week. So there's no crazy surprises that we throw at each other. There's no, I didn't know this was going on and I didn't plan for it and now we're screwed. We know in advance. So that's the first thing. And whether, you're married, you're with someone, or you're single, like, sit down and figure out your week because that's super important. All right, next thing, figure out a game plan. So you know what your work schedule is, you know what your responsibilities are during the week. Realistically, figure out a time that you can go to the gym. Maybe it requires you going to bed at 9 o'clock instead of 11 and getting up at 4 a.m. to get to the gym. May not be what you want to hear, but that's maybe what it takes for you to get to the gym. Or maybe it's not a matter of you getting to the gym. Maybe you have the capability of going out and buying some dumbbells and just doing some workouts in your garage. There's lots of different options here. It's not limited to, well, this didn't work, so I'm just screwed. If that was our mentality in life, nothing would get done. So the second thing is figure out what time works for you. The next thing I want to talk about is your food. People say, I don't have time to food prep. Well, you don't have time not to food prep because let me tell you something. We food prep on Sundays and it takes about 3 hours or so and we're done for the week. That means we don't have to cook dinners every night. We don't have to go through drive-thrus and sit in lines. We don't have to go out to drive-thrus on lunch breaks or in the morning when traffic's crazy. We save so much time by meal prepping. Yeah, it may be more time all at once, but if you cook dinner every night, you're spending 30 minutes to an hour in the kitchen. That alone is 7 hours right there. We've already cut that in less than half, and that's not even including breakfast and lunch. So meal prep, if you haven't done it, you need to start doing it. And also, not only does it save you time, I don't know about you, I'm kind of cheap. I don't like spending money. It's my wife. It saves so much money. I can cook a homemade dinner for the 4 of us for about a quarter of the cost it cost me
to go out and buy us dinner at a cheap restaurant. Like, I'm not talking some crazy restaurant, a cheap restaurant. So don't think that prepping food has to be this crazy expensive thing. All right, moving on. It does take some structure. You've got to be mindful of your time. We all have 24 hours in a day, obviously. And when you really think about it, when you really get down to it, how much time are you wasting in a day? It could be you spend 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the middle of the day, and 10 minutes at night scrolling through Instagram. Well, hey, that's 30 minutes right there. That's a quick workout. That's a 3-mile run. Don't devalue that, I only have these few minutes. That few minutes adds up. So let's just go from there. Let's say you spend 10 minutes mindlessly doing something on your phone 3 times a day, 30 minutes. And that's honestly way below the average time someone spends on their phone a day. All right. Then let's say you swing through a drive-through on your way home from work each night. You're stuck in traffic, you're waiting in line, let's say another 10, 15 minutes. So now we're at 45 minutes. Let's say when you get home, you just want to chill, you want to relax. So you sit on the couch for 10 minutes and don't do anything. That's almost an hour right there of things that many of us do without even thinking. And guess what? That's enough time to work out. Some people ask me how I get so much done in a day. And the way I'm able to do it, I'm not saying it's easy, and some days I hate it and it sucks. And don't get me wrong, there's nights when I veg out. Like tonight, I promise you, tonight's Friday night. I record these ahead of time. I'm going to be vegging out. I am. The week has been very long. After the kids go to bed, I'm going to do something mindless. I'm just being straightforward with you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you have to go hard 24/7. But what I am saying is you have to be intentional with your time. So one thing that I make sure that I do in order to not waste time is I don't think about things too much. I know that sounds weird, but for instance, let's say I know I have to do XYZ, I have to run an errand, I have to go grocery shopping, I have to, whatever it may be. As soon as I know I have to do that, I'm going to immediately get up and do it. And I'm going to do it in the quickest way I can. I'm not going to walk slow. I'm not going to lollygag. Like, I'm going to go in mission focused, get it done so that I can move on to the next thing. And you have to have that mentality with everything you do in order to get the most out of your day. You have to. If you don't, if you just wander around kind of without a clear direction, without a clear mission, without a clear goal, you're going to find the day slip away and you don't have time for things. So you have to be intentional with every hour of the day. Every hour. I get up at 3:45. I'm to the gym by 4:05, 4:10. Then I finish, I shower, I go to work. I get home from work. I have a couple hours before dinner and I spend that time working on my business, working on this stuff because I love this stuff and I pour myself into it, whether it's videos or the podcast or my website or my courses or my online personal training, whatever it is, I spend time doing that. Then it's dinner with the family, and usually by the time the girls go to bed, I've got about an hour left to spend with my wife before it's time to turn in early. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock to get up the next morning. And yes, it's a busy day, but I'm doing what I love and I'm doing what I'm passionate about and I'm working towards goals. And that's how you have to be every single day. Can you take a day off? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. There's nothing saying you can't take a day off and rest and relax, spend time with your family, do whatever the hell you want to do. I'm not saying that, but you've got to take control of your day or your day is going to control you. How many times have you been sitting down at home or at the end of your workday and you literally have asked yourself, where the hell did the day go? I know I've asked that to myself before. We ask that question because we don't really know because we weren't intentional with our day. In a nutshell, the 4 top things you got to do. A, have a plan. Write down what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, everything you have going on. Map out your entire week from Sunday to Saturday. 2, meal prep. It's going to save you so much time, so much money, and you're going to be on point with your food. 3, be intentional with every minute of the day and don't freaking waste time. And 4, know when your body needs a rest. Now, I'm not talking about being lazy. You don't need a 2-hour chill out, veg out night every single night of the week. But if once a week you need an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or a whole night, like once a week you need a day, take that day and recharge and enjoy it and don't feel guilty. But the next day, get the hell back up there and go hard again. All right, I'm done with my rant. You guys, if you're confused on anything as far as getting started, go to bonestobulk.com. On there is my free video workshop. You need to check it out because it's going to lay the foundation for you for everything that you need fitness-wise. It's free. I created it for you. It's lots of good content. It'll only take you about 30 minutes to go through, so go check it out, bonestobulk.com. Remember, no matter what anybody has told you, no matter what you've told yourself, no matter like if you tell yourself, I don't have time, you do have time. You can accomplish anything you want. You've got this.